Good morning. Good afternoon, actually. It is so cold outside here in Greenwood, Indiana. It's been snowing. It's not snowing right now, but it is absolutely freezing. So I am in my house. I don't have my sweatshirt on because I get so hot, but um, I'm in my house and I'm making cards and I'm like, okay, let's have a picnic today. We're going to do a card picnic. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to make a card that is around a picnic theme to kind of get us in the mood of some warm weather. That's what I am definitely ready for. All right, before I start, Framed. Sarah Williams, she owns Framed, and I don't know if you can see this shirt here. I'll stand up and show you. And it's probably backwards, but it says, beautiful things are never perfect. And this is a monthly shirt club that I belong to, and I got this in the mail last night, and I get so excited every time I get my shirts in the mail. Every one of them is spectacular, and I love wearing them. And so, yeah, if you are interested in a t-shirt club that has great t-shirts, check Sarah Williams Framed out. It's amazing. Okay, let's look down here on the screen and let's see what we're talking about today. All right, I have my catalogs here again, only because I want to show you where the products are that we are making, where the items are. If you do not have a Stampin' Up demonstrator, I want to be your girl. If you want to join a Stampin' Up team, I want to be your team leader. So if you need a team, right here. If you need a demonstrator, right here. If you want to buy a card, I am right here. I would love to help you. So give me a call, or you can email me at lori@harvestlanecraftique.com. That is my email address. Or you can go onto my website at harvestlanecraftique.com, and you can get in contact with me there also. On my website, I have cards that I'm doing. I have Paper Pumpkin. I have my blogs. I'm not doing very good about my blogs, but I'm going to try to do better about that, updating everything that I'm doing and all the great things that are going along with Stampin' Up. If you're joining me, say hey. I see I have 3 watchers, so if you're here, say hey to me so I know you're here. So anyways, back to where I was. So yeah, let's just move on because I just totally lost my train of thought. All right, back here down to the screen, catalogs. So this is where we're going to start today. I don't know, I've said this before, but a lot of times I'm fairly new at making cards and everything, and I start by going to Pinterest, and I look for card templates on Pinterest to kind of get me in the right mood, in the right frame, in the right area of creating. And sometimes I get very lost. Last night I made a card. We had a doily challenge with our group, and I made a card. And I started in one place with my, I started here. And this is kind of where I was thinking my doily would be. Like, this would be a doily, this would be a doily, this would be a doily. And this is where I ended up. Not anything like what I had planned on doing. But that's okay, because I came up with, I think, a pretty amazing card. And I used my blending brushes, and I put the doily on top of the basic white cardstock, and I used my blending brushes, and I colored over the doily, and I thought it kind of looked like stained glass. I don't know. I thought it was a pretty card. So that's where we're starting at again today. We're starting at a card sketch that I found on Pinterest, and I have pinned it to my Pinterest board. So if you want to go into Harvest Lane Craftique on Pinterest, this will be there. I got this one from Mojo Monday, and actually I get several of them from hers. I really like hers. And if you have any that you like and you want to share them with me, please put them in the comments below, because I am all for helping each other and making each other grow. All right, so I have my card template, and I knew that I wanted to use Sweet Strawberry stamp set. My inspiration was from another demonstrator's card, and it was so cute. I knew that I wanted to make this stamp set. But I also knew that I wanted to do another doily card, because even though I wasn't excited about it to begin with, I thought this square kind of looked like a doily. And then when I thought about the strawberries, I thought a picnic, and I thought it's cold outside, and yeah, I wanted to make something to make me remember of the summertime and picnics and fun time that we get to spend with our families. So I used these little doilies, and our Stampin' Up leader for my team sent each of us one of these doilies. Here, I'll move this so you can see it better. But she sent us doilies, and she did a doily challenge with us. And so I'm going to use these doilies again to make a card that I feel like looks like a picnic. And here's where we're going to be. This is going to be our final card. So I am so glad that you are here with me today. And let's get started on how I made this card. First thing I did, let me move this out of the way a little bit. First thing I did is I used my paper trimmer and a piece of basic white cardstock. And I always have a cheat down here at the bottom that my card base is either 5.5 scored at 4 1/4, or I flip that around. And this is the way I want this card. So I'll come on my paper trimmer, and I'll go to 5 1/2, and I'm going to cut. Now I'm using the dark knob because that's my cutter. Take that. I can use that for another card. I'm going to take both of my scoring, or both my tools up here at the top, because I'm going to use that light brown one. I think I called it blue. Oh my goodness. All right. Then I'm going to take my light brown, because that's my scoring tool, and I'm just going to go back and forth. And I'm going to just give it a score line. I'm finished with my paper trimmer for right now. And I'm going to grab my bone folder, and I just bent the card right there on that score line, right? And I'm using my fingers just to crease it. Then I'm going to use my bone folder just to varnish it more, just so that it gives it a nice, even crease. Now, I will tell you sometimes, and I don't know if you can see this, but I can see it. Sometimes it doesn't line up 100%. You can always manipulate your card to line up or flip over to the other side, and then that way you have a nice straight line all the way across. And I don't know if you can see this, but it's real tiny. It's not huge. All right, so I'm gonna have my card like this. So that was cut at 5 1/2 and scored at 4 1/4. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do this base color right here, and I am going to cut that at not 5 1/2. That is not right. I'm going to, oh no, sorry, I have this wrong. My base card is 5 1/2. This is, oh hello, somebody help me here. Oh, 5 1/4, 5 1/4, 5 1/4. See, I knew it was wrong. Okay, 5 1/4. I will have all of these dimensions listed below when I am finished. I'll have them on my YouTube channel. So if you want to make this card, you can go back and check all of my cutting dimensions that I did. But we're going to have this next layer at 5 1/4 by 4. So the paper that I used was from the Berry Delightful Designer Series paper. Now, if you watched my video the other day, I talked about Sale-A-Bration, and it's on YouTube, and you are more than welcome to go watch that. I got this paper free, and the reason why I got this paper free is because I spent $100 in Stampin' Up merchandise from either the mini catalog or from the annual catalog, and I got this Berry Blessings stamp set right here and this paper for free. And I believe what I did is I bought the punch, and I bought the sweet strawberry because I loved this stamp set, and I bought a couple other things, and I was able to get this stamp set. We're not going to use it today, and this paper for free. All right, so I thought this paper right here, let me flip this over. I thought this looked like a picnic table cloth that goes over your picnic table. So that's where we're going to go. Paper trimmer. Here we need 5 1/4. And I'm using the dark one because it's cutting at 4 or by 4. And that gives me a nice layer all the way around my card. Right there. All the way around my card. So let's pop that down real quick. And I'm going to use my Stampin Seal adhesive. And it is a very sticky. We're just going to use a little bit here. Now, I've said this before in my videos. One more time. Make sure that when you go to put your paper down and it has the seal on the back, be very careful. Just don't plop it down because it is very sticky and it's very hard to pull back up. So I'm just lightly putting it down, and I'm lightly making sure that I am the same distance around on all sides. Then I'm going to bring my bone folder back in, and I'm just going to adhere it down. All right. So there we go. Start with our picnic table. All right. Let's go ahead and make this centerpiece here. And I will bring it here. This piece, which again is this long piece. And it is cut 1 by 5 2/8. 1 by 5 2/8. And I took another piece of my paper that had blueberries on it, and that is what I used for this piece of paper right here. Oh, and I already have it over here. All right, so that's what I used right here, and I liked the blue against the red. I thought it looked pretty, and it had some of the white, so I'm trying to get all those colors coordinating correctly. And then I also put a mat behind this, and this mat piece is 5 3/8 by 1 3/16. So I have not completely cut these. I cut that one, but I didn't cut this one. So let's get this one cut. This one needs to be 1 by 5 2/8. So I just have to cut that 5 2/8. 5 2/8 right there. All right. All right. Going to use some of this adhesive again. And sometimes it gets stuck, and when it does, you just kind of have to roll it forward. Ugh, see, look, it really got me that time. All And then I'm going to bring in my long piece, and once again, I'm going to be very careful about putting this down, because once I put this down, it's down. So just very carefully popping it down. Looks good to me. And I'm going to use my bone folder. And I like how this turned out. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back here. And I am going to pop it down about right here. And then I'm going to use that bone folder again. Very cute. All right. The color here in this, I want to call it red, but it's not red. It's called Poppy Parade. That's the color that is used right here. So I just grabbed some Poppy Parade cardstock, and I need another piece of it. And we are going to cut this piece at 3 3/16 by 3 1/8. So let's get that paper trimmer out. So it's 3 3/16. So 3 and 1, 2, 3. I'm going to use my cutter. And then by 3 1/8 right there. All right. And I'm going to cut it. So I have, well, I would say it's a square, but we know by those measurements it's not an exact square, right? All right. So I have my picnic table, and this is where I brought in my doily. All right, where are those doilies? Okay. We may be in big trouble because I can't find these doilies now. All right. Too bad there isn't anybody here to help me look. It's all me. If you saw how messy everything was around here, you would say to me, shame on you, because it truly is a mess. All right. Anybody out there watching live, do you see where I put it? Hello, 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 hello. All right. This is not funny. Okay. Guess what? We're going to have to skip the doilies. I'm sad. Maybe I put it in my catalog. I bet I did. Nope. I haven't even shown you the catalog yet, have I? Well, remember these doilies right here? The square vellum doilies? Those are the ones that I just had just a few seconds ago. Literally just a few seconds ago. And you get 24 of them for $5. So you get a lot of doilies in there for just $5. Well, I'll be. I guess this is the great thing about live, right? You can't stop your video and find out what you're doing and restart it. You just have to move on. So we're not going to have a tablecloth on our picnic table, I guess, huh? Okay. That's okay. We're going to move on. So I'm going to put my red piece here. Then in my card that I did, I used another piece of the Berry Delightful paper, and I liked the green. I thought it was a little contrast, a little bit of contrast that pulled over here from this part of the card over here. And we'll use the stamp sets here in a minute. So let's go ahead and cut these two circles. This first one is cut from the Berry Delightful cards, DSP, and this is just another piece of the Poppy Parade. So this is my Stampin' Embossing, my mini machine, and this little guy, oh my goodness, I love him. He just, watch this. Okay, see how little this piece of paper is? And I am going to use this tiny die right here, okay? I'm going to flip this over. And he is so little. I don't have to pull out my enormous machine. I can just use this. So our plates, let me show you, our plates are all numbered, and for this little of a thing, we use a number 1 on the bottom. Then I place a number 2 down. Then I put my die upside down. You'll see one side is smooth and the other side is raised. That's the part that cuts when it goes through the machine. I put that down. Then I'm going to grab my number 2 again. So I have 2 of number 2 plates. And then I'm just going to roll. Look how simple. Can you see me? Look how simple I'm rolling. I am not using any effort whatsoever, which for me, that is awesome. Lupus knocks me for a loop, and with my joints and everything, this die cutting machine is a godsend. With the Big Shot that I used to use, I would have to actually stand up, and I would have to put all my weight into it, and it made me tired to use it, and this, I just can't rave enough about it. So, okay, so I have my little circle. Let's get a big piece. So I just took another piece that had the green on the back, and I grabbed another circle. Now these circles, let me show them to you real quick. They come in a packet like this. And these are the layering circle dies, are the ones that I'm using. Now I've put them on magnets, but they normally come on something like this that has like sticky tape on it, and then they're all layered on here. But it really helps being able to use them and maneuver them around if I use the magnets. So for this red ring that I did right here, this red one, I used this layering die. So this is the 1, the 3, this would be the 5. And the reason why I do that is I do 1, this would be number 2 over here, this would be number 3 over here, this would be number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8. So I use number 5 to cut. Then with the layering dies, it's layering because you can layer on top of each other, right? I used the 1, 2, 3, I used the number 4. I used the number 4. And again, if you can see this, where's my camera? See how it's jagged up there at the top? And it's smooth on the other side? I'm going to have my paper like this. I'm going to take that jagged side and I'm going to put it down, and that's what's going to actually cut my paper with the embossing machine. So I'm going to use the same plates, the 1, the 2, put down the paper, put down the die, put down the other plate too, and gently push it through. I'm not having to use any effort at all. And there we go. I have my 2 circles cut out. Isn't that amazing? I love that. All right. Let's put this away for right now because I've already lost one thing already this morning, huh? Hopefully they're going to show up before I put all this together. All right. Where are we at? Okay. So yeah, it pops right out just like that. And so now I can layer my Poppy Parade red circle onto my very delightful paper that's in green. All right, so before I put those together, I want to make sure that I stamp on this Poppy Parade. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. The reason why I do that is because I make mistakes. I'm human, right? And if I end up making a mistake, then I can just flip this over and I can stamp a second time without wasting paper. So really it just kind of helps me. And let's kind of go over real quick this stamp set because it's real cute. Okay, look what I found. Yay! All right, okay, I'm sorry. All right, we found it. We are back on our picnic trail. All right, this stamp set here, that's Sweet Strawberry. Yeah, no, this is the one I want. It is. Okay, hello. All right. Oh, the little things that get me going. All right. That was so sweet of you. That would be great for a thank you card, right? You could put thank you on the outside, and that was so sweet of you on the inside of the card. Just for you, I don't know, maybe you're sending just, I made Mason and Cody's, all right, take off those glasses because they look horrible. But I made Mason and Cody's girlfriends, I made them cute little shirts that said love on them. And I could have made them a card that said just for you, but I wasn't all put together during when I gave those to them. Or yesterday, I made my mom a sweatshirt that said be happy, and it has a sunflower, and it is so, so cute. I could have put a card with it. I need to get together. I need to get it together. So that's what's on this stamp set. And then there's that happy birthday sweet thing. I like that one. And then the one I'm going to use today, hello there. And it's just kind of like a just thinking of you saying. So let's grab this out. Hello there. And I am going to use my Stampin' Block. And I have this labeled, and it's a B. So we're going to use Stampin' Block B. And I'm just going to use Memento Black, or Memento Tuxedo Black. And I'm just going to gently dab. You don't want to press down real hard, because if you do, then the outside layers get a black ring around it. And I don't want the outside layers to get a black ring. I just want the letters to get a black ring. So let's get more in line. Ooh, ooh. Going on a roller coaster ride. Okay, I just want you to be able to see what I'm doing. All right. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but it is completely covered. I always turn my stamps over. Actually, I'm going to do just a little bit more because the E and the R didn't look like it was very covered. Yep, it is now. And the reason why I do that, I always flip it over and look, because I think I've dabbed enough doesn't mean that I have gotten enough ink on my stamp. So taking a look to make sure there's no black marks, but I'm also taking a look to make sure that I have completely covered. And then you're going to see my head maybe, because I'm going to pull over the top of this. And I'm going to go right here in the middle, and I'm going to press and hold. I'm not going to rock it. I'm just holding it nice and straight. Then I'm bringing it up. With the polymer stamps, it sticks to it. But then you can just drop it down, and you've got a nice, clean, straight hello there for your card. I always use my simple Shammy. It's in here. Oh, look, I have a thing. Make sure I smile on camera. And it is wet, and it helps clean off my stamps after I use them. And I'm very diligent about making sure my stamps are clean, because I've spent a lot of money on everything that I have here, and I just want to make sure that I'm taking care of them. And I think now this is ready to go onto this little card. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to give myself an X. And we are going to find the center. And again, I'm not pressing down. I'm just making sure I look even all the way around. Looks good. And press. Nice thing about a circle is if I'm a little off, I can turn it a little bit. So that's one of the good things about a circle. Okay, let's go back real quick and let's get this doily on. Now, I have my Take Pic tool, and if you can see, not all the pieces have been popped out to the doily. So I'm just going to use my Pic Tool and make sure that everything's been popped out so you can see all the way around the doily. And you're probably wondering, how in the world am I going to get this on there? Well, this mat is a mess, but it is a godsend because what it allows me to do is it allows me to use my Stampin' Seal, and I can mark an X on here. It's not going to damage my surface, and if it does get onto this, I can just rub it right off. Wonderful little tool there. And I'll put the dimensions. And so then I'm just going to take my doily and I am going to make sure that I am a good even all the way around. Then I just kind of come back in here and I just rub it with my finger. And if there is any excess glue, it rubs right off. All right. Then we're going to put that doily right on there. All right, let's flip it over. Bring it over here. And we're going to go halfway on. Just looking to make sure it's straight. It's not. All right. There we go. It's down. Then I'm going to give myself another little X here on my circle. And I am going to put my hello there, right there. And coming back to my template here, I decided that I did not want to use this piece. I tried and tried and tried to make it look good. I just couldn't do it. And instead of putting something on my card that I didn't like, I left it off. And the nice thing is, that's my choice, right? That's my choice it's my card. It's how I want to make it. So I decided to leave it off. All right. So we're coming down to the end. Here is this card. We have some embellishments. And I'm just using the Gilded Gems is what I used on here. And I used the stamps and the punch that came with this suite. And again, I will put everything that I use down in the description below so that if you are interested in any of it, you are more than welcome to buy it. And I will put all of my links below so that if you want to, you can buy it from me. All right, so the two that I grabbed were the small flowers. And the reason why I grabbed the small flowers is because in the die, I can cut those small flowers out and give my card a little bit of a 3D look. So that's why I chose those small flowers. Let me show you how I did it. I grabbed my Poppy Parade stamp set. Listen to this. Paper Pumpkin for the month of January. It gave you a small Poppy Parade ink spot. So let's just say you want to try out some of these colors. By ordering Paper Pumpkin, you're going to be able to get different colors. Now, I can't promise you what colors you're going to get, but you'll get different colors each month, and you can keep these and reuse them over and over again. So that's kind of like a bonus. You get to actually like try out some of the colors before you actually buy them. All right, so I'm going to take my stamp and I'm going to dab in here. And then I'm going to come here to the edge because I want to be able to maneuver it through the die. And I'm going to pull right up. And I'm going to go ahead and do 3 of those since I have all 3 of them right now. And no, I'm afraid I might get too close to it. We'll just mess around here because I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. And then we're going to put one down here. Now, I'm going to use a technique called stamping off. And as you can see right now, let me push all of this forward. As you can see right now, these colors are really dark. See how those are really dark? Let's kind of move this. Okay, I'm going to use a technique called stamping off. So I'm going to put the inside of my flower, because that's what this is, and I'm going to dab, and it's all over. I'm going to have to press just a little bit harder. It's all over the stamp, and I'm going to stamp off on a piece that I'm not going to use, and then I'm going to take it and stamp it onto the flower. And what it does, let me pull this up closer to you, is it gives a lighter look to the inside of the flower. Let's do one that's not stamped off, and let's show you what that looks like. Okay, so here's one, and I'm going to stamp off right here. Go ahead and use this. I'm going to grab my other stamp, the outside, and we're just going to stamp on the one that I didn't stamp off. And if you see, it just kind of, you can actually see, here we go. Here's the one that I stamped off. Here's the one that I used, that I both inked on. I like this look a little bit better. I could even come in with a little bit of a bumblebee coloring blend, or So Saffron coloring blend, or Daffodil Delight coloring blend, and color the little inside of that circle. And since I said that, we're going to do it. So let's grab one here. Daffodil Delight. I grabbed a dark. We're just going to color in the little itty bitty middle part of this. So it looks like the inside of the circle. Okay, let's do this last one. So I'm dabbing on my ink. Even though you can't see me, I'm doing it. I'm stamping off. I'm lining it back up. And I put my color down. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so because I cut these so close together, I'm going to cut them out because I do not want to ruin what I've cut or what I've already stamped. So, and you'll see why I'm saying that here in a second. Because this die will cut everything at one time, but I only want it to cut this. So, I'm going to come here on the back and open my die up, and I'm going to slide her in there. And I don't know if you can see this or not. Okay, we're going to have to turn it a little bit. Let me get it lined up, and then I'll show you. There, okay, everything's lined up. And punch. And came out. Perfectly like a little one. Let's do the rest of them. So we're going to have to get it lined up. And I don't know if you can see in this, but there's notches. And that's what I'm lining up, those notches in with the, there we go. Okay, ready? Punch. And it flew up. So I've got one. I have two. And let's get the third one. Let's line it up. One last time. I'm struggling. Okay, and pop. And there we go. I have my 3 sweet little flowers. So I'm going to use my mini Stampin' Dimensionals and put them on the back of these sweet little flowers. Bring my card over. Now, on this card, I put them on the top. I think I'm going to put them down here on the bottom on this card. I'm just going to do however I want to because it's my card, right? That's the wonderful thing. Like, I created this. That's, I don't know, that brings joy to my heart. I created it. And I like to make things, so I don't know. It makes me happy. I hope creating cards makes you happy too. All right, and let's just finish up by adding some little gems here. And I liked these gold ones. I put one here at the top, and I'm gonna put one here at the top, and another one here at the top, and I'm finished. A nice little card just to say hello there. I'm thinking of you. All right, glasses off. Oh gosh, my hair. I look a mess today and I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for staying and watching me through making this picnic card. I would love to have you join my team. I would love to have you purchase from me, either one, or if you just want to stop by and watch my videos, that's great too. If you like the videos, give me a smiley face, a thumbs up, something to say I did a good job and you enjoy what I'm doing. I will post my email. I will post my Stampin' Up website. I will also post my actual website. If you would like to receive newsletters about what's going on in the Stampin' Up world, leave me your email address at Lori@harvestlanecraftique.com, and I will add you to my mailing list. And thank you so much for joining me for a fun little picnic on this blizzardy, snowy, yucky day. And you have a blessed rest of your day. See you later.